video, I want us to look at Introduction to Calculus. And under Introduction to Calculus, we are going to look at differentiation. Now, differentiation is a branch of calculus that deals with change. When things are changing, then we are looking at differentiation. So, we are going to start differentiating using the formula. So, for the equation y is equal to ax to the power n plus b dy dx, or in other words, we say the change in y with respect to the change in x is given by, or is equal to nax to the power n minus 1. So what you do is you multiply the power by the coefficient of x, and then after multiplying the power and the coefficient of x, the second thing you do is to subtract a 1 from the power. That is what differentiation is. And then b is a constant here. It's just a number. So when you have a constant, dy dx for a constant number is 0. Any number, dy dx is 0. And so we have some questions here. So we have, the question says find the derivative of. Okay, in other words, we are saying find dy dx for these equations that we have here. So the first one that we have is y is equal to 5x squared minus 2. Y is equal to 5x squared minus 2. Okay, so this is the first one that we have. So we are going to apply the formula that we have on this question that we have put down here on the board. So here our dy dx, or the derivative of y with respect to x, will be equal to this power here times the 5. So 2 times 5 here, you are going to have 10 x to the power 2 minus 1. And then this side here, since the 2 is a constant, dy dx will just be 0. And so here when we simplify, we are going to have 10x to the power 1, which is just 10x. Okay, so this is our solution for the first equation that we have. And then for our second equation here, which says find the derivative of y is equal to 4x cubed minus 7 over x minus 1 over the square root of x. Okay, so we are going to have it here. Y is equal to 4x cubed minus 7 over x minus 1 over root x. Okay, so before we differentiate this equation that we have here, the first thing that we are going to do is to deal with these fractions that we have. Okay, when the x is in the denominator, there's a way in which we deal with it. Okay, so remember one thing, when you have an x like this, the power on the x is just a 1, a positive 1, like the way we have it here. So this function, or this equation here, is going to be y is equal to 4x cubed minus 7 over x to the power 1 minus, okay, and then when you have a square root, it means you can write this one as an index with a power of half. So this is going to be 1 over x to the power half. Okay, so the half here is the power on the x. Okay, so after reaching this stage, you have to rewrite this again. So we are going to write this now with negative powers. So this one is going to be y is equal to 4x to the power 3 minus 7x to the power negative 1. So you see here, the power was a positive 1, and when you write it like this, the power will be a negative 1. And so the next one is also going to be, since you have the 1 here, you can write the 1 here, or you can just write the x. So you're going to have x to the power negative half. Okay, so the power changes to a negative here when you rewrite it like this. And now at this stage, now we can apply our formula for differentiation for dy dx. So we are going to say, therefore, dy dx will be equal to, and then we are going to apply our formula there. So you multiply this 3 times 4. So here 3 times 4, you are going to get 12. And then you subtract a 1 from the power. 3 minus 1. So you are going to have x to the power 2. And then when you come here, you are going to multiply this negative 1 times the negative 7 that we have. So negative 1 times negative 7, you are going to have positive 7. So you have plus here, 7x, and then you subtract a 1 from the power. Negative 1 minus 1, you are going to have negative 2. Negative 2 here. And then the last one again here, you multiply negative half. Remember, when there's a coefficient, there's an x here, the coefficient here is a 1. So you have negative 1 here. So you're going to multiply this negative half here, negative half times the negative 1 that you have. You're going to have plus half x, and then you subtract a 1 from the power. So when you subtract a 1 from the power there, negative half minus 1, you're going to get negative 3 over 2. And so we have found our expression for dy dx here. So we can rewrite this, which is going to be 12x squared plus 7, and then you can write this negative power, this x with a negative power, you can rewrite it with a positive power. So this is going to be over x squared plus 1 over 2, this 1 over 2 here, x to the power 3 over 2. X to the power 3 over 2, and we have found our answer here. Okay, so we can write it like this. And so this marks the end of our lesson on differentiation.